everybody, this is Ellen from Somerville Public Library with a cooking demonstration for you. Today we're going to make lemon squares, and these are the ingredients you'll need. All-purpose flour, salt, confectioner's sugar, butter, 4 eggs and 1 egg yolk, granulated sugar, and some fresh squeezed lemons. So first, there's butter. I'm going to put in 1 cup flour, 1/4 cup confectioner's sugar, and 1/4 teaspoon of salt. And I'm just going to whisk that all together. And then I'm going to cut this butter into little chunks, and then I'll show you how to kind of rub it into the dry ingredients to make a crust. So I'm just gonna put the chunks in the bowl, kind of break it up a little. If you've ever made apple crisp, you make the topping the same way. So I'm gonna mix it with my hand and kind of squish the butter into the dry ingredients and not keep it in my hand for long periods of time, because then the butter will melt and you don't want that. And I'm just kind of rubbing it until it's going to come together into a crumbly texture. So this is kind of the texture we're after. There are not many large chunks of butter, maybe just a few, but you don't have to be terribly fussy about that. Once you get it into this crumbly texture, it's ready to go into the pan. What I have here is an ungreased 8-inch Pyrex pan, and I'll just put it in there. And then you want to press it into the bottom of the pan pretty firmly. And the reason for that is that it's going to have a filling poured over it, and we don't want the filling to go underneath the crust or through any cracks in the crust. So put it in there quite firmly and, as evenly as you can. The crust is going to go into the oven, which I've preheated to 350 degrees. And it's going to bake until it's golden brown, which will be about 30 to 35 minutes. The crust is baking. We're going to make the topping. So we have 4 eggs and 1 egg yolk, 1 cup of granulated sugar, plus 2 additional tablespoons, 3 tablespoons of the confectioner's sugar, powdered stuff, so we're going to mix all this together. I'm just using the same bowl I used to make the crust. You don't have to be too fussy about it, it's fine. And when that's mixed together, you're going to add 1/4 cup of flour and a little pinch of salt, less than 1/4 teaspoon, like about that. And mix it up again. And the last thing is 2/3 cup of that freshly squeezed lemon juice. So the recipe I have says that you should let this sit for about 15 minutes so we'll do that. Crust is still baking anyway. And when it comes out of the oven, we're going to turn down the oven to 325 degrees, pour this over the crust while the crust is still hot, and then put it back into the oven. So the crust has come out of the oven. It's nice and golden brown. I turned the oven down to 325 degrees, and now I'm just going to pour this lemon topping over the crust while the crust is still hot. Then pop it back into the oven until it firms up. Might get a little bit of brownness on top, and that'll take about 30 minutes. So we'll see. So they came out of the oven. They cooked for a little less than 30 minutes. You can see that they're firm. The top is pretty dry. Now comes the hardest part of this recipe, which is waiting until they're completely cool to cut them. So we'll see you in about an hour. These are finally cool enough to cut. You can see that when it was cooling, the top cracked a little bit. That doesn't matter, still tastes good. So, I'm not sure how easily it'll come out of the pan, but I'll just cut one and try my best. Let's try to get this out. Okay, well, look at it from that side, it looks better. Then you just can sprinkle a little bit of powdered sugar on top. I would do that right before you serve it so it won't melt. And that's it, it's a lemon square. I hope you enjoyed the demonstration, and I hope you make lemon squares and eat them and like them. And I will see you next time. Thanks for watching.